Third week of November 2016. Disasters have swept the globe with a fury this year. Massive floods have happened across the United States, Europe, and the Far East. What is causing these catastrophic events? The cause can be seen right here. Our oceans are unusually warm, which results in rapid evaporation. The evaporation causes humidity, which results in record-breaking rainfall and raging floodwaters all across the world. Temperature extremes are becoming more prevalent each year. Even so, the maps that indicate these extremes are being altered to keep us uninformed and unaware of what is really happening here on Earth. Temperatures in both the Antarctic and Arctic regions are being whited out on maps and charts so that the public will not question whether a major catastrophe is gradually taking place. Some anomaly maps blot out various regions with gray, which means insufficient data, while other maps is our planet about to change forever? Here are but a few of the many discerning developments taking place recently.
Lucy Kraft. She's our CBS News reporter. She is in Japan at the moment. Lucy, we've been watching some of those images, and just so our viewers understand, we just saw some people sort of laughing. That's a Facebook Live that we're taking in because right now the images that are necessary to report this news are not coming into us directly just yet. We are trying to get those for our viewers, so please be patient with us. What we're doing is scouring social media and bringing some of those in to share with the viewers. And you're looking at another picture there, which I'm not sure what city that is that we're showing, but the lower right, I'm told, is Tokyo, Japan. So, all right. So, Lucy, here's the question. The earthquake back in March of 2011 struck at about 2:46 p.m. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center recorded waves of up to 30 feet high that ultimately hit the Japanese coast. And then the Japanese government declared a state of emergency specifically for the nuclear power plants near Sendai, which is about 180 miles from Tokyo. Have we heard at all from the national government in Japan thus far?
No, there's going to be a news conference in about an hour and a half by the Japan Meteorological Agency, so they're going to wrap up sort of what the situation is right now.
The most significant prediction found by Munoz-Ferrara was not an earthquake, though, but the future arrival of a great comet. He calls it a comet planet because it is as big as a planet, presumably 6 times bigger than Jupiter, but has a tail and follows the elliptical orbit like a comet, and travels between the sun and a black sun that is 32 billion kilometers away. Hercolubus hasn't penetrated the solar system for 13,000 years. And 13,000 years ago were the times of the lost Atlantis. The comet planet has a lot of cosmic energy, does not respect the established laws of celestial mechanics, and has resonance and radioactive effects that can produce reflections and weaknesses, and could cause illnesses, epidemics, and affect human behavior. The 9th planet, or comet planet, will enter the solar system and get as close as 14 million kilometers of the distance from the Earth. It will become visible and people will be able to photograph Planet X. It will cause a catastrophic attraction of the incandescent mineral liquids of Earth's inner structure, triggering earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. Its effects will be devastating. 2 years before his death in the year 2001, Munoz-Ferrara revealed that all these geophysical and climate changes in planet Earth would intensify from the year 1999 going forward. According to Carlos Ferrara, an astronomical phenomena will occur within our present time frame. Among the characteristics of this phenomena are the following. It is a red planet which travels an elliptical orbit of a comet and has the great mass of a planet. In other words, a planet with a tail. The star is charged with cosmic energy, as to say rarefied radiation which, according to scholars, will alter human health and behavior. It will provoke incurable epidemics and irritability, bringing wars. It does not comply with the conventional established celestial physical laws. It travels between our sun and a black sun, which is found 32 trillion kilometers away. It will pass as close as 14 million kilometers from Earth. It is approximately 6 times bigger than Jupiter, thus its approach of 14, and therefore volcanoes and earthquakes. It will end up penetrating our solar system and be visible to the naked eye as well as being photographed. Its arrival will cause human and geophysical changes, bringing much change and destruction to the Earth. Indeed, this is how the planet has been seen and photographed, even though the official media has given this phenomena various false explanations. Now you can, for yourselves, see various photos and videos of 2 suns on various web pages and newspaper publications. Carlos Ferrara corroborated that which was already stated by the great in relation to Hercolubus, as well as that the scientists who are at the service of the large groups of economic and political power establishments would publish various false interpretations in order to try to cover up the reality of this approaching planet in order to protect the financial markets. Thus, they have posted that this observed star is Mars, or some visiting star, and they have invented scenarios to justify the fall of the satellites and shuttles, as well as the terrible atypical electromagnetic and radioactive storms throughout the whole solar system. There is research now being conducted that links mass extinctions on the Earth to a suspected ninth planet, according to Daniel Whitmire, a professor of astrophysics and present faculty member at the University of Arkansas. The red planet NIBIRU and its iron oxide dust tail suddenly appears on the Maestria Observatory webcam in Brazil just this morning, November 17, 2016. Notice the very distinct V-shaped outline of the debris tail. This is a first-time anomaly from this particular webcam observation center. The following images were originally posted by one of our Facebook followers who recently observed the formation of the system while traveling on a flight from Los Angeles to San Francisco. He mentioned that several passengers saw the formation and were astonished. He mentioned that the flight attendant had thought that it was possibly a sundog capture, but as you can see from these images, this is no sundog anomaly or an ordinary lens flare. Coincidentally, these images posted on our Facebook page have gone viral across the social media sites in the last few days. A Skywatch observer from Iowa captured these still images on November 16th, showing a planetoid or brown dwarf visible to the upper left of the sun prior to sunset. This may be the same object that is now said to be following the path of Venus across the western sky. And this image possibly showing the same object as it appeared for just 1 hour as the sun was setting.
This is James for opening Possible channel. I believe we are going into a boat ride, guys. David Keller sent us an email today with 3 pictures from a brown dwarf star approaching our system, and it may be already here, and that's what you're seeing in the sky, and that's what's making the moon look red and the sky look pinkish. Okay, the date of the pictures are from November 14th 2016, and the direction he was looking at as an astronomer is south by southwest, and the time was taken to 6:30 and 45 degrees up from us right away. Okay, this is coming from all over the world. This is really serious. This is, the government's not going to talk about it. I believe they're actually fleeing, okay, to this anonymous country. I don't know, maybe Antarctica, whatever. They're not going to talk about it, okay? And they're going to leave us with whatever cataclysm, whatever, catastrophe is going to happen, okay? So please do share this right away, okay? Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment below on what you're going to see right now. This video is going to get rough, okay? So watch it until the end. Thank you very much for being here. See you again.
Dwarf star or dark star of the NIBIRU Planet X system was recently photographed with wings. This would imply that the system is most likely inside the orbit of Jupiter, because comets do not develop tails or wings until they reach this orbit. Recent analysis and observations indicate that the dark star appears to be just beyond the orbit of Mars. So the Nemesis NIBIRU system would then have to be at the edge of our inner solar system. Many of you have suspected for some time that the world's elite are monitoring its incoming invasion into our solar system. They are preparing underground shelters and are ready to move when the time seems imminent. They know from their own observations that the Nemesis Nibiru passage is approaching. Changes to the Earth and Sun, as well as across our solar system, are becoming more frequent and intense, as I had indicated in my previous videos from 2016. There are two very significant changes which I have emphasized are now taking place. They include the fluctuating magnetic field, which now indicates a major weakening of the geomagnetic field, according to orbiting satellite data, and the other being increased energy output, translating into greater heat, causing rising temperatures. Some of the warning signs are now ongoing, including strange red skies at both sunset and sunrise, strange daytime halos around the sun, and strange red glows emanating from the aurora borealis. These atmospheric anomalies are being caused by the incoming Nemesis Nibiru West Coast earthquakes happening along the predominant fault lines, which recently spewed large amounts of carbon monoxide. NASA satellites in space began detecting staggering large emissions of carbon monoxide gas along the West Coast. As evidenced by this image, the emissions were far too big, too highly concentrated, and covered too vast an area to be man-made. On the satellite image, the areas in black, purple, and brownish orange show the magnitude of the emission. It was utterly massive. Snow falling in Tokyo on November 24th. It is the first time since records began in 1875 that snow has been observed accumulating on the ground in central Tokyo in November. And how about this rare twister moving across the desert in Saudi Arabia on November 23rd? On the same date, this magnificent fireball exploded over the skies of Florida. These events, as disturbing as they may seem, or as devastating as they may be, are warning signs that the earth is in turmoil and the sky is about to reveal the wonders of our universe. It is indeed a time of tribulation in anticipation of what is to come.
Vietnam and Hong Kong. And it goes on, people. Look, in Colombia, in Barcelona, North Carolina, and Nova Scotia. Guys, this isn't this year or this half or in the summer. This is just in October, people. Look at it. What is going on? It goes on. Look, Turkey, Austria, North Korea, and Greece. This is just the last 2 months, people. It's more than climate change. It's more than just Fukushima. It's more.
And finally, it is important to emphasize just how devastating and utterly bizarre the Earth's weather has become. Climate change is virtually out of control with no signs of subsiding anytime soon. Check out this amazing video footage of the floods that have wreaked havoc on northern Italy in the wake of torrential rain in November. This comes just 2 weeks after Italian scientists warned that climate change has put much of the country at risk of flooding.